Paper Aces has concluded and Alkonost is our tournament champion, so I figured it was appropriate to feature it again on this channel, this time in its own tutorial. Now, as you can see, Alkonost looks like your typical dart without a template, but if you add the Champions template that I just designed, it looks absolutely amazing. Now, this template, as well as over 80 others, are all available on patreon.com/foldableflight, so if you would like to fold a plane that looks like this, head over there and check that out. And with all that said, let's see the final matchup of Paper Aces between Alkonost and Plasma X, and then I'll teach you how to fold the plane. 3, 2, 1, go! All you will need in order to fold Alkonost is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper or an A4 sheet of paper, and we'll begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. As always, try very hard to maintain symmetry here and line up your corners as well as possible before creasing. And now go ahead and open your paper back up so that your center crease is a mountain fold, and fold your top edge to the left edge, and your crease should go right through that top left corner. I like to go ahead and line up that crease in the corner first and kind of just pinch crease it there, and then swivel this edge into alignment. And when I'm happy with both of those things, I'll crease all the way across the paper like so. And now I can open that back up, and we're going to fold this edge here to the right edge now, and our crease should go through the top right corner. Okay, and we'll open that up. Now I'm going to flip the paper over, and I want to fold this top edge down so that the crease I make goes right through the intersection of these diagonals. Now I'm actually going to rotate the paper just so I can keep my head out of frame and also still see pretty closely what I'm working on. And I'm basically focusing on this diagonal here and this diagonal here, and where they converge right at the center. That's where you want to tack it down just with your finger, and then make sure that you're lining up the center crease on this layer with the center crease on the layer behind it, as well as your outer edges. And once you feel like you have all of that aligned, you can go ahead and crease all the way across like so. And now I'll open that up, flip the paper over, and just poke this point. You can see the sides come in, and now I can just pull in like so and collapse it into the water bomb base. Now I'll go ahead and rotate it so that this point is facing me, and swing this flap to the other side. And I want to fold this edge here to land on this edge here, and you'll see that's going to be tricky because this side is not going to lie flat. Now the first thing I want to do is make sure that my crease is going right to this corner here. And then, even though this side's not lying flat, I'm just going to crease all the way into this pocket. And when I unfold that, you can see my crease is going all the way to this edge, and that is this inner point of the pocket. Now, holding it in this position, I'm going to kind of bring this pocket down, and I want to flatten it so this edge here lands on this edge, and this edge, or bulge, which I'm going to turn into an edge, will land on that edge. Like so, and then I'll go ahead and crease this side as well. And now I'll just fold this point here to that point up there. Okay, and then I'll just reverse the crease I just made and tuck that into the pocket. There we go, and your plane should look like this, and now we're ready to repeat all of those steps on the other side. So I'm turning this flap to the other side, and I want to fold this edge here to land on this edge, And this is that tricky step where the right side now is not going to lie flat as I work here. But I'm making sure that my crease goes right into this corner here. And I'm making sure I'm landing this edge properly on this edge here and creasing all the way into the point of the pocket. So if I were to unfold it, you can see that's where my crease lands. And now I can fan open the pocket, land this edge on this edge, and flatten this bulge here to land on that edge, and then flatten this as well. Now I'll go ahead and fold this point to that point there. And I can go ahead and reverse that crease that I just made and tuck this into the pocket. Okay. And now while I have it in this orientation, I'll go ahead and fold this edge here into the center. And then I'll swing both of these to the other side. Fold this edge into the center. And now I'll go ahead and fold the portion of the paper that crosses this bottom edge back up across the bottom edge. And if that doesn't make sense, you'll be able to see. Basically, I'm just trying to land this crease I'm forming right on the bottom edge of that bottom layer. Like so. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And I'll go ahead and unfold this side. Unfold this side. And now I want to just reverse these creases I just made and fold in like so. And now I'm going to go ahead and fold this edge here to this diagonal crease. And I'm going to highlight this crease because I'm actually not going to fold all the way to the crease. I'm just going to leave a couple millimeters between this edge and that crease. So you can see there's just a little gap. And I want this edge to run parallel to that crease, but not quite go all the way to it. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, now I'll go ahead and, with the right flap pushed to the left, fold this edge here to the center. And I'll flip this tab back to its original side and then move this to its opposite side and fold this edge here to the center. And then I'll flip that back to its original side. And you'll see that it doesn't really want to lie flat very well right now, and that is totally fine. We're not worried about that at all. Now I want to fold from this point here to this point over here. And I'm just folding this bottom edge up like that, and you can see these edges will even land on those edges there. And this next step is a little bit tricky, but hopefully not too hard. I'm going to go ahead and unfold these and open this up just enough. Basically, I'm just reversing this crease. This crease here is in the correct orientation, and that crease there is in the correct orientation. And if I push down on that, it's going to let me fold on all of those creases at the same time and just tuck them in like so, and I can close up the sides back into their original orientation, and those layers that were on top are now just inside these tabs. Okay, and now I'll pull this closed over. You can see we actually have a pocket here, and the tab is going to end up going into that pocket. But for now, I just want you to pull these layers over the tabs. And I'll do that on both sides. And I want you to pay attention right to where this edge intersects this edge here. And at that point, right there, that's going to be one of my references for this next fold. The other reference is I want to land this point here on this edge of the plane. So I'm pulling right from this point here and creasing so that this corner down here lands on that outer edge of the plane. And once I do that on one side, I'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Like so. And then I can unfold that, unfold this side, open this up, and I'm going to take the time now to reverse those creases I just made. So I'm just bending them in the opposite direction, right along the same line, like so. Do the same thing on this side. And then I will actually unfold on both of those, even unfold this back out into this position. And now I'm finally ready. I'm going to fold in like this, but actually tuck my tab into this pocket as I do so. And I'll do that same thing on both sides here. And now we are ready to fold these sides in, and you'll notice you have 3 diagonal creases all running essentially parallel to one another on either side. And the first thing I want you to do is locate the central diagonal crease on your right side, and you are going to just kind of push in on that crease and fold the flap in like so. Do the same thing on this side. You're folding this whole area that's on the outside of this diagonal crease all the way in like so. And then the last thing we have to do here is fold in on this diagonal crease as well. Just kind of pushing those layers. You want to control them as you do this. You're folding those layers in under the wing like so. Make sure you get all the layers to fold right along this line as you push it in like so. Okay. And this is the shape of our plane. We are pretty much done. We just have to fold it in half and then fold our wings. When you fold your wings, go ahead and just fold this edge here down to this edge. Okay, and having done one side, I will go ahead and flip it over, fold the other side to match. And there you go. This is a finished plane. Now this plane is pretty well balanced, so you might find that you don't need any up elevator at all. I would encourage you to give it some dihedral angle and give it a throw before you decide whether you need to bend the back edges up slightly. If it does dive down, then you can just bend the back edges up a little bit, and that should help it to nose up and glide really well for you. And with that, good luck flying your plane.
Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. I'm now releasing a new tier where you can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable Fleet today.